The darkness swallowed the world outside as I gripped the steering wheel of my old, faithful sedan, its headlights cutting through the inky night. Rain hammered against the windshield, creating an eerie rhythm that seemed to whisper of impending doom. I had always been cautious when driving at night, especially in such dreadful weather, but that night, I had no choice but to push on. The radio crackled to life, the voice of the weatherman sounding distorted and distant. Severe thunderstorms and flash flood warnings for the entire region, he warned. I cursed under my breath. I had to make it to my sister's house, her desperate call for help echoing in my mind. The winding road ahead seemed endless, flanked by ancient trees that leaned menacingly over the asphalt like specters of the forest. Their gnarled branches reached out, brushing against the car, leaving an eerie, scratching sound in their wake. Each flicker of lightning revealed a glimpse of their shadowy forms, making me shiver. My sister lived in a remote cabin deep within the woods, a place seemingly untouched by time. She had always been the adventurous one, but her recent move to such a desolate location had worried me. She claimed to have heard strange sounds at night, whispering voices that echoed through the trees. I didn't want to believe her, but the urgency in her voice had me driving through this cursed storm. The road became narrower and the forest pressed in on all sides as if the trees were trying to swallow me whole. The pitter-patter of raindrops was soon joined by something more disconcerting, a mournful, ghostly howling. The sound was unlike anything I'd ever heard, sending shivers down my spine. I turned up the radio, hoping to drown out the eerie noise, but static filled the speakers. The voice of the weatherman had vanished, leaving only an unsettling emptiness in its wake. Panic gnawed at my insides, but I couldn't stop now. I had to reach my sister. As I rounded a sharp bend, my headlights illuminated a figure in the middle of the road. I slammed on the brakes, heart pounding, and the car skidded to a stop just inches from the stranger. I could see nothing of their face, only a dark silhouette. Rain cascaded off their hunched shoulders. I rolled down the window, my voice trembling. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" The stranger didn't respond, but I caught the glint of pale eyes in the darkness, staring at me with a haunting intensity. A shiver raced down my spine. Without warning, the figure turned and melted into the shadows of the forest. My heart raced and I hesitated for a moment, torn between following the stranger or continuing on my path. But my sister's call echoed in my mind, urging me to move forward. I continued down the eerie road, the sense of dread hanging heavy in the air. Minutes stretched into hours as I drove deeper into the forest, my surroundings growing increasingly unfamiliar. The storm showed no signs of relenting, and the world outside my car had become a watery abyss. I couldn't help but feel lost in a nightmarish dreamscape. Suddenly, my headlights illuminated a clearing ahead, and there stood my sister's cabin. Relief washed over me as I pulled into the small dirt driveway. The cabin appeared to be untouched by the storm, its warm, welcoming glow a stark contrast to the forbidding forest around it. I rushed to the front door, calling out for my sister, but there was no response. Fear clawed at my throat as I entered the cabin, finding it eerily empty. The only sound was the rain, now a constant drumming against the cabin's roof. My sister's voice echoed in my head once more, recounting the strange happenings she had experienced here. I couldn't dismiss her claims any longer. Something was deeply wrong in this place. I ventured into her bedroom, and that's when I saw it. A journal lay open on her nightstand, its pages filled with her frantic handwriting. She wrote of shadowy figures in the woods, of whispers that seemed to beckon her into the darkness. Her last entry was chilling. "They're coming for me." My heart raced as I heard a faint, eerie howling outside, echoing the sound from earlier. I rushed back to the car, determined to find my sister. But as I pulled out of the driveway and into the forest once more, the road seemed to stretch endlessly, leading me deeper into the heart of darkness. The rain fell harder, the howling grew louder, and the shadows of the trees seemed to dance with malevolence. I was trapped in a nightmare, and I realized that I may never escape this cursed road. My sister's fate was sealed, and now, it seemed, so was mine. As I drove further into the abyss, the forest closing in around me, I knew that I was just another lost soul on this accursed road, where the nightmarish horrors of the night would never let me go.